Paid off for them. Trace Gallagher, thank you so much. Does that mean we're seeing America start to come together a little bit here? We're asking Campus Reform's Cabot Phillips, political commentator Daniel McLaughlin, GOP fundraiser Noel Nickpour, and Washington Examiner's Sarah Westwood. Good to see you all. I mean, what does this tell you, the fact, Cabot, that it did so well?
Well, two things. First, it says that there is a portion of America that feels disenfranchised. They look on TV and all they see are, conservatives portrayed as these bumbling redneck idiots. And I think a lot of people are refreshed to see that. I would caution conservatives, though, against holding up Roseanne all of a sudden as this conservative, champion for them. I think, there have been some comments in the past where, maybe she's not always aligned with the conservative movement. I think some people are just assuming that they want to hold her up now. But regardless of that, I think it's refreshing for a lot of Americans just to see someone other than, liberals on their TV screens.
I mean, it may show you how hungry they are for that, right, Noel?
Absolutely. And, it's time that Hollywood takes notice to this, because it's basically saying, look, instead of toting that liberal line, look at the viewers. Look at the results of this show. So it pays to get with the rhythm of what's going on. We live in a movement culture, and if you look at what happened and how Trump won, it was a movement. Yeah. So why not mimic that on your sitcoms?
Well, sure, and Cabot makes a good point in that, I don't think conservatives should think that necessarily Roseanne and the show stand for them on every issue, and certainly not all the actors do. Danielle, I want to play this for you. This is Sarah Bernhard. She's one of the star actresses on the show, and she had some rather choice words about how women voted in this election. Here she is.
White women for Trump.
Can't understand it. Don't know where it comes from. Other than, being, I think it's a couple of issues. It's being either under the thumb of your husband, or for the election, it was being so offended by Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton's legacy that you turned on her, or feeling inadequate. A lot of women have compromised, given in, gotten married, raised their kids, and not had the luxury of being able to think for themselves.
Under the thumb of your husband. See, I think this is part of the whole problem with Democrats who adopt thinking, because this is why women did not like Hillary Clinton. This is why she didn't poll well with them, because there's a sense that somehow women aren't good enough to think on our own. Danielle, what kind of message is that sending?
It's a terrible message, and I don't agree with Hillary Clinton when she said that in India, and I don't agree with the actress who just said that, we are strong. This is 2018, and that kind of message to women is extremely damaging and harmful.
There are plenty of
reasons why people vote, but to say in 2018 that your husband told you to do it, I think is a real cop-out.
And she's supposed to be the champion of breaking glass ceilings for women.
Well, but I will say that actually words and deeds are different things. So Hillary Clinton co-signed or co-introduced the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. She made women's rights a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy.
But still, with a comment like that.
Can I jump in, though? Sure. And I want to bring Sarah Westwood in as well. I mean, she introduced the Fair Pay Act, but yet you look at her own darn campaign staff, and the woman's not paying other women as much as she's paying her men, Sarah Westwood.
Right. I think that was one of many reasons why women sense maybe some hypocrisy in the Hillary Clinton campaign. And Trump is obviously really seizing on the ratings from this show. I mean, he's someone who really cares about the way he's reflected in the media, dating all the way back to when he was just a real estate mogul, and he really scrutinized what the tabloids were saying about him. So obviously he's elevating Roseanne even further by today in his speech mentioning the fact that he called her plugging her show in front of millions of people. That's obviously going to feed this phenomenon even further.
Yeah, Cabot, she may get a little bit of a ratings boost under that. But let me, so you're a guy. You're the only guy here in
That's why I'm staying out of this.
What do you think of that? I mean, for goodness sakes, in this day and age, for people to even suggest, I mean, this to me is what's wrong with feminism. I consider myself a feminist. Right. I've been a feminist since I was old enough to know what being a woman was. Frankly, being a girl.
Right.
I never thought I'm not equal or I can't do that because I'm a girl. Yeah. But there is a generation, frankly, Cabot, of feminists, quote unquote, and it's gotten kind of a bad name, if you would. But there's a generation that somehow I don't think fully embraces women. I don't think really, really likes women. And when I hear rhetoric like that, it's very disturbing to me.
Well, I think there's definitely a generational divide when it comes to what feminism has become. I'm on college campuses, for example, with campus reform, and I see every day how feminism has become, in many people's eyes, more about men hating than it has become about promoting equality of the genders, which it was initially intended to do. And it's disappointing to see that people aren't really able to have conversations. For example, even me as a man, I feel many times uncomfortable about having conversations for fear of offending people. And I think if we're not able to have conversations as a society about, you know, gender and important conversations, then we're never going to be able to fix anything.
It's not just equality, right? It's also saying, okay, you are empowered to do whatever it is, and I am not going to judge you because you choose X instead of Y, Noelle.
Right. Well, the good thing of it is, if you've noticed that the millennials, one good thing coming out of the millennials is the fact that they really seem to embrace equality. You do not really see this. I think you see it mainly within a lot of the old school gender.
Good. Yeah. Well, it's about time.
Good riddance.
We'll have more after.